photos of the local security agent that was on duty at the WFP warehouse
to follow the attackers. We are also expecting that a reinforced platoon
security of the IDP camp. Do you believe that the IDP
shop so early? That day I had to attend my friend's birthday party, so I left the shop earlier. Normally, what time do you open and close your shop? Usually I open my shop at 0900 hours in the morning and close it at 2000 hours at night. When did you come to know that your shop was robbed? I came to know about this the next morning at around 0900 a.m. when I came to open my shop as usual. Particularly, what did they take from the shop? They took $3,000 cash and all gold and silver jewelry. Okay, how much were the stolen goods worth? The robbed goods were worth approximately $1.5 million. Mr. Orton, had you managed any security system in your jewelry shop? Yes, there was a CC camera concealed on the ceiling of the shop. That's good. Did you call the police, and what time did they arrive? Not me. Someone called the police, and they arrived at 10:15.
Was there any proof in the video?
Yes, police took that camera to the station. There was an important clip recorded in the camera. It showed that theft had taken place between 2300 hours to 2345 hours, and there were 2 thieves involved in burglary. I had seen one of them. He had visited my shop twice a week before. He had taken a look at some jewels, but had left without buying any.
Good. Do you know his name and address?
No, I don't know his name or address.
What did they look like?
They were both around 26 years old, 170 centimeters tall, in t-shirts and jeans. One of them had a cobra tattoo on his right arm, and he hobbled while walking, like his left leg was shorter, so police could easily mark him.
Has the local police started their investigation in this case?
I don't think so. They have kept the camera and the clips and just filed the case, but they have not started the investigation seriously. I visited them several times in the last 2 weeks, but they have neither arrested the culprits nor started the investigation.
Okay, Mr. Orton, all your reports have been noted, and we will visit the local police and inquire about this case, and UNPOL will also start its own investigation.
Thank you, officer.
Narrative. On 24 July 2012, at LNP Headquarters, Anti-Robbery Unit Office.
Welcome once again, everybody online, to our program that we've started. That we are learning how to answer. Yes, you are in. Paul Entry, you are in. How to answer UN comprehension question with speed. You know, the exam is all about speed. It's not about how much you know or anything. It's all about speed. If you are to be given 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or 1 hour to do the question, everybody will get the answers right. But it's all about speed. It's only 20 minutes for you to read the question, read the passage, answer the questions, and take note. So it's all about speed. It's not about what you know. So we are going to learn how you can answer the comprehension question with speed. So some people says that they first read the questions, then they look for the answers. They just go straight to the questions. For instance, let's use this passage to answer. This one is molestation. All this is the introduction. Good. So we start from here. The topic is molestation. So instead of reading through all the passages before you go and read the answers, you just go straight to the questions. When you read the question, then you go and look for your answer. So, number 1, what was the name of Mrs. Green adopted daughter? Where was community hall located? When did Mrs. Green notice the disappearance of Elena? What were the injuries of Mrs. Green? When did Mr. George end speech? Who stopped the young youth, and when? What was the name of the social organization? How old was Miss Lily? Who responded to the screening? How many sketches did Mr. Green? How many stitches did Mrs. Green's wound need? So you just read the questions like 2 times so that you get them. What was the name of Mrs. Green adopted daughter? Okay, the name of the girl. Where was the community hall located? When did Mrs. Green notice the disappearance of Elena? What were the injuries of Mrs. Green? When did Mr. George end his speech? Who stopped the young youth, and when? What was the name of the social organization? How old was Mrs. Lily? Who responded to the screening? How many stitches did Mrs. Green wound need? Good. So you go straight to the passage and you are looking for answers. The name of organization. On Sunday, June 30th, Mrs. Green, 53 years old, was at a social event with her 7-year-old adopted daughter. So the first answer, we have gotten the age. So you go straight and write 7 years. From here, we have gotten the answer. So let's go to maybe the questions, and let me add another page. Let me add another page and copy the questions there so that we will do it from there. Good. So the moment you saw the 7 years old, you said, what was the name of Mrs. Green doctor? What were the injuries? How old was Mrs. Lily? So the girl was 7 years old. Seven years. Paragraph 1. Let's go to the passage. This is the questions. Good. Then you go back to the passage. The event was held in Community Hall at Venue Street number 8. So where was the event held? This one too is in the when the question that we read, this one too, this answer too is needed inside. Where was the event held? Let's go and check. Where was the community hall located? Good. So this one. The community hall was located at Venue Street number 8. So yes, answer your Venue Street number 8, paragraph 1. Then go back to the passage. We are only looking for answers. We are not. The main topic of the meeting was how to protect child from. At 11 o'clock hours, Mrs. Green met her friend and co-worker, Mr. George, 48 years of old. He saluted her and got inside the hall and delivered a speech. He was the main speaker in the event. Mrs. Green was a volunteer worker in the social organization called Save the Child. During the meeting, Mrs. Green was busy chatting with the other guests. It was so crowded and the place was stuffed with people. At about 11:30 hours, she noticed that Elena, her adopted daughter, wasn't around. So this place, 11:30 hours, when she noted the girl is not around, it's also needed in one of the questions. So let's go and check. What was the name of Mrs. Green's adopted daughter? The name crowd will come here. Elena. It's also in paragraph 1. You indicate against it. Alina, paragraph 1. Good. He said, what time did Mrs. Green notice the disappearance of Alina? That one is also in this question. At about 11:30 hours, she noticed that the girl is not around. So just that one to paragraph 1. We are indicating paragraph 1 on it, so that when we are copying it on our note, we will know where to insert them. So we continue. Let me close this one. This one is not needed. Good. So let's go. She was worried. So she was so worried about her, and she started searching where the girl disappeared. While Mrs. Green was looking for the girl, she was informed by Mrs. Lily. Miss Lily, a 50-year-old. Good. So this one, Miss Lily, her name has come here. A 50-year-old. So I think the age of Miss Lily also appeared in somewhere in the questions. Let's go and check. Miss Lily, Miss Lily, Miss Lily. What was the adopted daughter? And question 2. Why was the community hall? What did the why is the injury of Mrs. Who adopted her? What was the name of the social? How was Mrs. Lily? Good. Here is it. Mrs. Lily age. Mrs. Lily was 50 years old. So let's check which paragraph was in this one. Also in paragraph 1. Paragraph 1. You indicate it. Who responded to the screaming? Let's go. And 50-year-old, the coordinator and the event that she observed that about 15 minutes ago, accompanied by a youth, she added that they were proceeding behind the hall. This is, you indicate here, paragraph 1. This page is paragraph 1. Then you indicate this one, paragraph 2. Mrs. Green rushed behind the hall. It was a little dark and dim. Then she walked slowly and quietly. She heard light snare and whispering upstairs. She went upstairs, where she got shocked when she saw a youth squeezing the girl against wall on the stairs and touching her. Spontaneously, the lady jumped over the youth and bit him deeply from the left forearm. It was so painful. Consequently, the young guy pushed Mrs. Green strongly. The lady dropped down stairs unconsciously. Due to the falling, the lady's right leg was broken and she got wounded severely in her right hand. The young guy got in panic when he saw the lady in that bad condition. The youth fled and he was caught red. The youth fled. Lest he would caught red-handed. He ran away with his right arm bleeding due to the strong bite. So this one will be paragraph 3. Just indicated on the question paper. At Elena started screaming, asking for help. At 11:45, Mr. George ended the speech. So this one also came inside. What time did Mr. George end his speech? Let's go and check the questions, if it is there. What time did what was the name of the social organization? When did Mr. George ended his speech? Good. So this one is here. Mr. George ended his speech. Paragraph 3. Then let's go to the passage. Getting out of the hall, Mr. George heard the screaming. He responded immediately to the screaming. So Mr. George responded to the screaming. So let's go. He said there was a question that who responded to the screaming. Let me close this one. Who responded to the screaming? Who stopped the young lady? What was the name of this? How many? Who responded to the screaming? Good. So here, Mr. George. That was in paragraph 3. I think so. Mr. George, then we go back to the passage. Yes, it's paragraph 3. Arriving behind the hall, found Mrs. Green lying unconscious on the ground, and the young girl was torn crying. He tried to help her to restore her consciousness. Mrs. Green already restored consciousness, but she was mourning from pain. Mr. George called the hall responsible, asking for a domestic medical support. He also called the ambulance to transit Mrs. Green to the hospital. About 12 o'clock hours, the main gate security guard noticed a young guy and seemed very confused passing the gate. So good. This one, they say who stopped the guy. I think this one will answer it. The main security guy. And when? Let's go and check. There was some question like that. I can't remember. Say, who responded to the screen? How was Mrs. Lee? What was the name of the social organization? Who stopped the young guy and when? Good. So this one is also here. At about 12, the main security guard. Good. So this one is also in paragraph 3 or 4. Let's check. Which paragraph is this? Paragraph 4. Paragraph 4. So we indicate on the questions. Paragraph 4. I think we have, how many stages would it good? I think we have answered almost all the questions. When you look at even the YouTube time, it's now 17 minutes. Though I spent some 4 minutes to do some touches, but it's now 17 minutes. But we are almost through with the answers. Let's check. This one answered. This one answered. This one answered. So, what were the injuries of Mrs. Green? So this one too. This one too. I think we have seen it. The bite and the broken leg and all those things. So let's check. Arena scheme good. Arriving unconscious on the ground and he tried to help him. No, I think he got down here. Down by the youth and beat him peacefully. Consequently, the younger pushed Mrs. Green, then dropped on the stairs unconscious due to the falling. The lady's right leg good. So this is the injury. The lady's right leg was broken and she got wounded severely in her right hand. Good. So this was in paragraph 2. Go to your what was the injury of Mrs. Green? Paste. This one. Right leg broken. Right leg broken and wounded severely in her right hand. Paragraph. Is it paragraph 3 or 2? Let's check. Paragraph 2. Paragraph 2. What again? Who stood? What was the name of the organization? What was the name of and how many statutes? So we are left with only 2 questions. The name of the organization. During the meeting, Mrs. Green was busy chatting with her. It was so crowded and the place was stuffed with. At about 11:30, he noticed that was not she knew worried about her and started. He was looking for the girls. No, the name of the organization I think will be here. Somebody knew about the crowd speech. The main guest speaker. Mrs. Green was a volunteer worker with a social organization called Save the Child. Good. So this one is also here. Save the Child is in paragraph 1. In the Mrs. Green was a volunteer worker in a social organization called Save the Child. So go there. Then the social organization. Good. Social organization called Save the Child. It's in paragraph 1 or 2. Let's check. It's in paragraph 1. Good. So we are almost through. Then the stitches. Let's go down and see. Lena started screaming. the stitches about the main gate. This one you have answered it. Notice the guy seemed very confused passing across the gate. He noticed that the guy was holding his left arm and there was someone bleeding around him. The guard stopped the youth and asked him what was wrong with him. Then the youth burst in tears, crying, "I did not mean to do that." Mr. George was trying to alleviate Mrs. Green's pain until the hall doctor attended. The doctor provided Mrs. Green with the needed first aid and stitched her wound 3 stitches. Good. So this one, 3 stitches. The doctor also supported her broken leg and also treated for the funeral. Good. So we are done. How many stitches would Mrs. Green need? 3 stitches. In paragraph, I think paragraph 4 also. In paragraph, this one is paragraph 4, so paragraph 5. Paragraph 5. Then we are done with the comprehension. It's now 21 minutes 39 seconds, but we spent some 5 minutes during the introduction. So typically this is 15 minutes. We are done with the comprehension and getting the answers. This is exactly 15 minutes. So use the rest of the 5 minutes to copy what you have done, because you indicated the paragraphs on the answers. Copying them will not be very difficult. Name, so you just write name of Mrs. Green, adopted child. Name Elena, paragraph 1. Name of Mrs. Green adopted. So let's go and take the note and see how we go about it. Let's say if we are taking the note on our sheet. Adopted daughter Alina, 7 years. Adopted daughter Alina, 7 years. Where was the community hall located? Venue Street 1. Good. So 1. They are all in paragraph 1. So this is the venue. Come home. Then you go to the next one. It said, when did Mrs. Green notice the disappearance? Also in paragraph 1. You just write the time. At our 11, Mrs. Green noticed the child is not around. Good. Then you go to the next one. Let's go to another paragraph 1. Let's see. Paragraph 1, paragraph 1, paragraph 1, paragraph 3, paragraph 4. This is also paragraph 1. What is the name of the social organization? Good. So you just copy social organization. Social organization. Save the child. Paragraph 1. Then you go. Another one. Paragraph 1, paragraph 1. How old was Mrs. Lily? Mrs. Lily, 51 years. Copy. Paragraph 1. Just add to your note. Mrs. Lily, 50 years. Paragraph 1. Let's go. What again? Paragraph 1, paragraph 1. Paragraph 1 is done. This is paragraph 5, I think. Paragraph 5. Then we go to paragraph 2. Paragraph 2, paragraph 2, paragraph 2. This is paragraph 2. What were the injury of Mrs. Green? The injury. Mrs. Green, right leg broken, severely injured with. Copy this one. Send to your notes. You paste paragraph 2. So let's go and see another paragraph 2. Another paragraph 2, paragraph 2, paragraph 2. Paragraph 2, paragraph 2. No more paragraph 2. So we go to paragraph 3. Let's see paragraph 3, paragraph 3. Paragraph 3. This one. When did Mr. George ended his speech? At about 11:40, Mr. George ended his speech. Copy. Paragraph 3. Go to your note. This is paragraph 3. Let's see if there's another paragraph 3 inside. Paragraph 3, paragraph 3, paragraph 3. This also, who responded to the screening? Mr. George, paragraph 3. This is also in paragraph 3. Then go and add it to your note. Paragraph 3. Let's go. How many stitches would Mrs. Green need? Paragraph 3. There's no paragraph 3 again. So we go to paragraph 4 and see. Paragraph 4, paragraph 4. Paragraph 4. Who stopped the young guy? This one is also here. Paragraph 4. You copy and send it to your note. At the main gate, officer. Good. So just copy the answer. Then go. At about 12, the main gate police officer, guard stopped the boy. The boy, good. Let's go paragraph another. Let's see if there's another paragraph 4. Paragraph 4 is done. It's only one. Then we go to the last paragraph. How many stitches would Mrs. Green need? Mrs. Green needs 3 stitches. Copy. Save the child. Okay, save the child. Save the child. Let me see. The name of the foundation. Paragraph 4. Where is it? Question 2, question 3, question 4. Save the Child Foundation. What the social organization? Save the Child, we have done it. It's in paragraph 1. It's not in paragraph 4. Maybe the comment came later. So let's go and send this one to also our note. Good. So let's see the point that we've gotten. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've gotten our 10 points down for the comprehension. So this one, if we are writing the report, you start with. So if you have time, one thing that you do is that if you have time, then you copy the first sentence. Let's say if you are done and you still have time, this first sentence, the first sentence, this one. On Sunday, June 10, 2020, at about Mrs. Green, 50 years old, was in a social event. With it, if you have time, you copy it. But if you don't have time, it is not needed. The date and time, because it was not in the 10 question and answer. So it will not be needed in your 20 points for the essay. If you have time, only if you have time, maybe you have completed answering the questions and you are done with the copying your note and everything now, and they have not still stopped work, or they say you have 1 minute remaining. You just write down on the first sentence, then you copy. If you don't have time, you only take note of where the woman went. Maybe Mrs. Green went to a social event with her adopted daughter, 7 years old. Then you start going. It's not needed that you write everything detail. You present the case in your own. This first on Sunday, 9th June 2020, at about 10:30 hours, Mrs. Green, Baba Green, 50 years. It did not appear in the question and answers. This paragraph, none of them, the information here, none of them appeared in the question and answers. So if you don't have time, you ignore it. Some people will go and write this one, go and write all this one, but it will not be needed in the 20 key points. Let's see something. Let's go down to the 20 key points and see. Look at the list of 20 key points. The list of 20 key points. Hey, Bukola is good. The 20 key points. 20 key points. 20 key points. 20 key points. Good. The 20 key points needed in the essay. 1. Elena, the name of the child. 2. The venue, street number 8, the location of the venue. 1:30 hours. The time, I think the time the man finished his speech. Her leg was broken and she got wounded severely on the right arm. This is the injury of the woman. 11:45 hours. The time the woman noticed the lady was not there. At about 12 hours, the main gate guard. This is who stopped the guy and when. Save the Child Foundation. The name of the organization. 8. 50 years old. The age of Lily. The injury. 3 stitches. 3 stitches. The injury of the woman. Mr. George. This is the guy's father. So you could see that from the 20 key points, that is needed in your report writing, there is no the age of Mrs. Green and the time she went to the. Let's go to the first paragraph. Good. The first on Sunday, 9th June 2010 at 10:30 hours, Mrs. Barbara Green, 53 years old, was in a social. All this information is not needed in your in your report writing. So if you waste your time copying this and you leave out what is important, you will write plenty, but you will not get the marks because this information, the date, the time, the name of the woman, the age, everything, it's 4 solid point, but it's not needed in the comprehension. So we take note of that. Let's use another comprehension to see. Let's use another comprehension to see. We did the molestation, so let's use damage to UN vehicle. Damage to UN vehicle. Let's copy. Okay, this one they didn't add there. This one they didn't add the report writing. Let's see, there's another one inside with damage to UN vehicle. Let's use this one. See. Good. Good. Damage to UN vehicle. Let's use this one also too. To answer the comprehension test. Good. So we are saying that because of time, even if you read all the passage, even if you read the passage from head to toe, when